The annual Munich Security Conference has long been a stage for global diplomacy. Vice President JD Vance, who took center stage to deliver a message from the Trump administration. Vance's presence, a stark contrast to the more traditional figures of American diplomacy, signaled a continuation of the administration's unorthodox approach to international relations. The world watched as the vice president laid out a vision for the future, one rooted in a blend of American assertiveness and a pragmatic approach to global challenges. Vance, known for his blunt style and unconventional political trajectory, wasted no time in addressing the anxieties that have gripped Europe in recent years. The specter of illegal immigration, a topic that has fueled populist movements across the continent, was front and center in his speech. He pointed to a recent incident in Munich, where an Afghan asylum seeker had carried out a violent attack, as a stark illustration of the dangers posed by unchecked migration. His words resonated with those who have long argued for stricter border controls and a more cautious approach to accepting refugees. However, Vance's message was not solely focused on the perceived threats from abroad. He also turned his attention inward, towards the heart of Western democracies, and issued a stern warning about the erosion of free speech. Intently, one thing became abundantly clear. The Trump administration, with Vance as its mouthpiece, was determined to chart its own course on the world stage regardless of the consequences. The vice president's words, delivered with his trademark candor, ignited a firestorm of debate both within the hallowed halls of the Bayerischer Hof Hotel. His remarks, coming just days after a series of anti-immigrant rallies in Eastern Europe, only served to heighten these concerns. Vance, however, remained undeterred by the criticism. He argued that his words were not intended to demonize immigrants, but rather to highlight the very real security challenges posed by uncontrolled migration. He insisted that any responsible government has a duty to secure its borders and protect its citizens from harm, regardless of the political cost. His supporters, many of whom had flocked to the Trump movement precisely because of its tough stance on immigration, cheered his defiance. The debate over immigration, however, was just one facet of Vance's broader message about the fragility of Western democracies. He argued that the West's commitment to free speech, a cornerstone of its identity, was being eroded by a culture of political correctness and a growing intolerance of dissenting views. He warned that unless this trend was reversed, the West risked losing the very values that had made it great. Vance Section 4. Navigating the Transatlantic Divide.